What are the best medical schools and what grades are needed in China?
For China itself, if you're applying for MBBS in China, definitely during your high school, you need to study three subjects. So chemistry, physics, and biology. These three are the most important subjects that you need to study during your high school because often Chinese universities will look into your transcripts and they will check if you have studied any of these three subjects. In terms of the best medical school in China, I think there are a lot. And in total, there are about 40 or like almost 45 of Chinese universities that are given the permission by the Chinese government to teach MBBS program in English. So you can check like all the details on China admissions website. But among those 40, 45 universities, there are like Fudan University, Zhejiang University, Tongji, and then Has Huazhong University of Science and Technology, Wuhan University, and then Shantou University, and then what else? I think there are so many, right, that offers great MBBS programs. And then
Yeah.
some of these as well, they will also prep you for USMLE because they know that some students after graduation, they might want to become a doctor in the USA. So some of these Chinese universities, they can help their international students preparing for that too. One point, Saskia, is when applying for MBBS is that you should know like what you want to do after graduation. If let's say you want to come back and become a doctor in your own home, in your own country, definitely you need to check if your country has its own list of approved universities. Because I know some countries have something like this, and then they have like a list of, let's say, approved universities in China. So only if you are graduated from any of these approved universities, then you can become a medical doctor back home. Otherwise, I think that's going to be difficult, or maybe it's not possible at all. So it's something that you should also check and consider. Or if you,
Mhm.
let's say, want to move to other country as well. So maybe you're from Indonesia and then you are studying BBS in China and you want to become a medical doctor in the UK. So you have to check the regulation in UK as well on how you can become medical doctor there if you are studying overseas. There might be
Yeah.
some examinations as well that you have to take, um,
Hmm.
or like some certification, things like that. Like in Indonesia, for example, I think you need to study again for like a year or two and then take
Mm.
some sort of certification before you can actually become a doctor if you study overseas. So you have to check these kind of regulations so you will not be disappointed and you will not choose like the, let's say, not approved universities because this is going to be very important for your future.
Yes, yes. Do keep that in mind. And also just keep in mind that MBBS is one of the most applied to programs for international students, which means that it's very competitive to apply to for this program at different universities. We don't really recommend, we know that with if you have like very low grades, let's say you have, I would say for MBBS, a low grade would be under 70% because it's so
Yeah.
competitive. So if you have like under 70% for a lot of your subjects, then there's a very high chance that you will not get accepted since it's so competitive and there's so many students applying. The program's also very difficult, and it means that you will be struggling to keep up most likely with a lot of these type of programs. If you feel that you maybe something happened while you were in high school and you got the low grades because of that, maybe you can also do the foundation program, the medical foundation program,
Yeah.
which is a 1 year program usually, which you can also do in China. And then this is for if you're studying in China, and then you can do that and you can use those grades that have improved to apply to the university. So that's one way that you can do it. Just keep in mind that this will also lengthen and lengthen the time of studying. So even if you do the foundation program, that doesn't mean that you're going to study a year less of medical. And the medical programs are like 6 years long. So you're going to be studying for like then 7 years. And then also the cost of an MBBS is very high because it's a very difficult program. So just keep that in mind that it's not the cheapest program to apply for. And that's just something to keep in mind. Maybe a different program, maybe something else in science is better for you if you don't want to study for such a long time. Um, Yeah.